welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy and this is the project we are making today. It's a gorgeous little treat box. Let me open it up and just show you. Inside it holds 2 Cadbury Favourites, so you can get quite a bit in there. It's actually a really good design box that you could probably fit a lot of different chocolates or candy in, or here in Australia, lollies. But this is what we're creating today. Let me bring in the supplies needed. We're using the Bonanza Buddies bundle, both the stamp set and the dies that can coordinate with it. I'm using quite a few punches for this little tag here. We have the 1 3/8 inch scallop, 1 1/2 inch circle, 1 3/4 inch circle, and the delightful tag topper punch. So this one here. You don't need this. I have used it to create this gorgeous little edges on our lid, but you can please yourself. You don't have to do that either. We'll have the Daffodil Delight ruched ribbon, really nice and bright and fun. We are heat embossing with this design. So I do have my Versamark ink, my embossing buddy, and my black embossing powder. We'll also need the heat tool to emboss with. I have 2 watercolour pencils, Daffodil Delight and Calypso Coral. And lastly, I have my kit that's all here ready to go. You can find all the measurements and supplies for this project over on my blog. There is a link to that blog post in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store if you would like to purchase any of the products that I'm using today for today's project, or if you would like to purchase products for either a project or a card that you're making, you can do so in my online store. Pop in the hostess code for this month, you'll get some really great benefits. There's a bundle tutorial that I'll email through to you. These are printable PDF tutorials, full colour photos, dimensions, supplies and all instructions. You'll also receive a handmade card or project from me, and if you're ordering over $50, you'll get Inky rewards for every $50, which will earn you free product in the once you get a few stamps. So we have the box is made out of Daffodil Delight. We have some scraps in Floaty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight, Bermuda Bay, Whisper White, and then we have some of this gorgeous designer series paper that goes with this suite. The designer series paper is called Birthday Bonanza DSP, so really cute and happy fun colours in that one as well. Okay, we're going to start off making the box. This delightful Daffodil Delight card measures 4.5 by 6.5. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and we're going to do some of that scoring. On the 4.5 inch side, we're going to score at 3/4 inch on each end. So I'm just going to flick that round and do 3/4 on each side. Then we're going to move to the 6.5 inch side and we're going to score at 3/4 inch. One 1.5 inches. 3 5/8, and 4 3/8. So we have our box. I'm going to bring the bone folder in and just score or burnish on all those score lines. So this is the template. I'm going to bring in my template to make it easier for me. So the 2 little tabs here on the end, the little squares, we're going to actually cut them off. This is the front tab, the front lid of our box here. So I'm going to cut these little squares off. And then the next 2 tabs are our tabs, so I'm going to cut up to that score line, and then we're going to notch in on either side. So just taking off a little bit of a slither. The next one we're just going to cut completely in. And this is our side of our box, and we're going to there we go. These are our tabs again, so we're going to cut up to those score lines and notch in on either side again. And we have our box all ready to go. So if we just quickly have a look while we're popping it all together. I did leave these on at the very beginning, these side ones, but I took them off and they did work better, so let's get rid of them. I knew I had them on there for a reason, but when the box was getting put together, it just didn't sit in quite as easy as I would like. Okay, now let me show you that template again. So that's what you're left with. Now I'm going to use tear and tape to pop this all together, and I'm going to stick a line of tear and tape on both these edges here. And then on these two tabs, I'm going to fold them in and just put a little bit of tear and tape on each of those inside pieces. So this is actually the inside that we're looking at. If you're doing the outside, you do the outside here and then fold these ones back and place the tear and tape on. Okay, so we've got all our tape on. I'm going to take the two bits of backing off these two tabs and I'm attaching these to the top. This is our top of our box to these two tabs here. So if I just close the box, lining those edges up and pressing down, and same on the other side. And we're going to do the same, attaching them to the edges here. So our seam will be at the back of the box. And just lining those edges up with the side of the box. Cute box. Okay, so we have the top here, and I'm going to bring the tag topper in. It might have been easier to do before popping the box together, but that's okay. We're lining it up with this corner here and the corner of the box. And definitely would have been easier to do beforehand. And you can see I've lined the top peak here with the top of the lid. There we go. I'm going to turn it over so we're going the same way and just lining it up the same as I've done with the other one. And there we have it. Gives it a really nice little detail there. Definitely do it before you pop your box together though. I have a dream and a picnic to go inside this one, so let me just pop them in. Actually, I might do a picnic first, it's a bit bigger. And I can attach my designer series paper to the front of that box. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. That's enough to keep it all down. You can also put this on before you start sticking all the boxes together, or before you put the chocolates in. To me, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't make any difference. So I've got the Daffodil Delight ruched ribbon, and I'm just going to place that around the box and just tie a little knot. Even with a knot, it's easy enough to slide in and back on again, as long as you don't make it super tight. So chop off a few of those little edges. Now we're right to do all our imagery here. So I'm going to bring in that piece of Whisper White, and I'm just going to hit it with the embossing buddy because we're using the black embossing powder. It can, it's a very fine powder. It's a very fine powder, so it can just get attached to anywhere. So I have the toucan stamp here. Just going to pop some of that black powder down. I'm going to melt that powder with the heat tool. Now the watercolor pencils are really great to use to add a little bit of color to. And if you're not interested in doing all this heat embossing and coloring, you can just die cut one of these toucans from the designer series paper as well. That would make it a really quick and easy project to put together. There we have it. Have the die from this bundle. I'm just going to run it through the Big Shot and die cut this piece out. So pretty quick and easy. Let's bring those punches in with that scraps of card. So we have the Daffodil Delight we're going to punch out with the 1 3/8 inch scallop punch. Moving to the Bermuda Bay, and we have the 1 1/2 inch circle. I love punches, so simple, so easy to use, and really quick to put together as well. And lastly, we have the Flirty Flamingo and the 1 3/4 inch punch. So I'm going to glue the Bermuda Bay straight down onto our Flirty Flamingo. And you could use more dimension if you wanted to. I don't think it needs to. We have the Daffodil Delight going straight down on the Bermuda Bay. And I've just grabbed these colours from the designer series paper. I'm going to pop up the toucan with some dimensionals. Using the last of this sheet. And popping him straight down. And then we're going to pop up this piece as well, and we're only going to put the dimensionals on the bottom part of the punch piece here. We don't want to cover the lid of our box. I'm actually going to stick 3 down, 2 across there and 1 on the very bottom, and that should be heaps. This also helps to keep the lid down. There we have it. Okay, aren't these just the cutest? Who wouldn't enjoy getting one of these as a little gift? And so quick and simple to create as well. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you left me a comment. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do, and don't forget you can check out my blog post for all the descriptions, all the supplies and all the measurements. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon. See yous.